Hey, all you BB fans, welcome back to another edition of House Party, a Big Brother podcast. We just wrapped up week 2 of season 20, and again, we have a lot to say. A lot happened in just 1 week, so let's get started. Again, I'm Ryan Duvall, and with me as always is Andrew Cox.
Hey, everybody.
And this is House Party. All right, so Andrew, episode 4, 5, and 6, a lot happened. What were some of the big moments that caught your eye?
You know, the biggest of all is the summer of Steve has come to an end.
So shocking.
Far too soon.
So that's one down for your dream team.
Yeah, I wish I could say I was surprised, but they always target the old people. I don't know what the deal is.
Ageism. What the hell?
Ageism.
But
yeah, and he was not a very good undercover cop. So
you weren't necessarily shocked, because between Steve and Sam, it honestly could have gone either way. I was prepared to see Sam go with just the way that she was handling herself.
Right. That was the expected outcome for most of the week, was that Sam was going to go home. And then on the feeds, we started to get some, ideas that there was going to be a flip. And they showed that on some of these episodes. But no, I wasn't surprised at all that Steve was the first to go. I picked him because I got a spot for the older players. But it couldn't have been less surprising, really.
Well, let me ask you this. Were you surprised that the house guest that flipped did? Talk about Miss Kaylin.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like ironic because she's the one that had started the Faute Alliance, what was it, 5 of us to the end, and she's the one that flips on them. But it's not surprising given her personality. And were you surprised?
No, I thought that they did. I believe it was Tyler that kind of manipulated her. And what I was more surprised about was that her, of all people, the one who casted the swing vote, was then crowned HOH winner. That's when I realized, oh God, this is going to be a fun week, because people are going to put 2 and 2 together, and they're going to realize that they can't do anything for a week because she's untouchable. They got to watch out.
Yeah, it was great. I was very excited on that crapshoot HOH when she scored big. And I don't know, I couldn't tell if she was excited or was just like, oh my gosh, I did not want to win this competition, but it definitely worked out for the viewers. This has been a very good, entertaining week for sure.
But having Steve leave, I didn't realize how secluded he and Scotty were, because now that Steve's gone, Scotty's just kind of hanging out and is not doing much to help himself kind of acquaint himself with other house guests. He's playing solo, and I'm really surprised by that. In his bio and everything, he seemed like more of an outgoing, fun guy, and that's not what we're getting from him at all.
Yeah, he and Steve were, definitely a pair. They were each other's number one, and they were right in the middle. Scotty was in a sort of like had a sort of a relationship with Swaggy, and I suspect we'll see more of Scotty in Wednesday's episode, since he's now been put up, and so hopefully that'll be good for him. But he doesn't have a lot of people to count on, but I don't think he's going to be a target anytime soon either. So I think that works in his favor. However, I've started to, I don't know, my opinion on him is a little down. I thought he was playing a little bit smarter. I don't know. I think he might be just sort of coasting by right now on,
Oh yeah, for sure.
not luck, but just there's other targets. So I don't think it's necessarily his skill set that the reason that he's gonna go particularly far if he does.
But before Steve was evicted, they did have a veto comp. And the veto comp, in my opinion, I thought it was fun. I loved the rounds. I thought it kept the progress going. It kept the pace. And one thing that I noted was they had the live snakes. That would have terrified me, but that was also the first time that I can remember that they actually had like a live animal in a competition. I don't think before they've ever had to deal with snakes or anything like that before, have they?
I can't remember. I was trying to think of that when I was watching it. For some reason, I think they have, but I couldn't specifically name like which season or competition it was. But I feel like they've very rarely, if ever. But I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking there was a time or two where they've done something like that before, like
And
at least 10 seasons ago or something.
right, it's been a while because I did see that and it kind of surprised me. It's kind of like seeing a stranger come into the house. It's like, well, I'm not used to seeing you here.
Yeah,
But
no, I like the competition a whole lot because it was something new. They've never done something quite like that. I thought some of the rounds were a little not as entertaining, but overall, I thought
like
the
the
competition
standing on
was
a
really good.
platform.
Yeah, that was kind of, that was a little weird.
I like the dog collar challenge. That probably
I
would
was
have messed me
wondering
up.
how much you think it actually like was shocking them.
Well, I'm
How
sure
much
it was
pain
just
they
a
were,
pinch. Yeah.
because they were sure acting like it was like terrible, but
But Fessy did win, and he actually won the last round much quicker than anyone would ever think. There was the drinking challenge where he had to guess the ingredients that make up this disgusting concoction that you are forced to drink. He got that done in no time. And surprising to everyone, but he did win, and he just happened to be Steve's house guest choice.
yeah, just happened to be. But
So,
that doesn't.
so Steve's thinking he's sitting pretty.
Yeah, because when you choose someone, that means they have to use a veto, obviously. Ryan, you don't remember?
No, but it's, if you have the choice to pick who plays with you, usually there is some sort of like, I appreciate it. I gave you some screen time. I'll let you play. Like, help me out here. And honestly, it would be ballsy to use it. I do understand that. But if it was for the greater good of possibly getting out, a stuck up house guest like Bailey into the seat, man, let's try it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Steve really had too many options of people like in his corner to choose for veto that would use it on him. And I don't think Fessy was ever going to like use it. I mean, the two people up were the best options for this first week.
I think it's
so
first week. Yeah. Can't really start
I
targeting
don't know
people right
why
off
he
the
would
bat.
want to get extra blood on his hands to get an ally like Steve on his side when he already has a
That's true. He's
Faute,
pretty stacked right now.
even though his alliance is just an utter mess. But, he didn't know that at the time. So you were right, though, on calling the Faute being the one to crumble.
Oh yeah. Oh
first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Level 6 is just stacked. I mean, every powerhouse in the house is just on one team. But I may have been right on that one, but you, sir, were right about the trending house guest choice. I thought that there would be new choices for the house guests to make every week. And instead, it started off with 5 perks to pick from, narrowed down to 4, and it'll continue down to where you'll be forced to grab the last one if you are the 5th person voted as top trending house guest, or least trending house guest. I thought that they were going to switch it up, but I guess they have 5 of them, and damn it, you're going to enjoy them.
Yeah, so I guess that means it's only going on for that many weeks. And when they're in there, they get to see all the options. They don't get to see what they're choosing. They just have to guess by the picture, but
yeah,
they'll know when someone goes in there that they've, like, what kind of things they might have been on offer.
Right, but only Fessy is aware. Or no, Fessy is aware of the crap apps, while Sam is aware of the other 4 remaining power apps.
Yes, and also now Tyler at the end of this week.
Right. And Rachel.
Right, yeah.
Funny thing that I noticed was Rachel receives least trending house guest. She receives the least amount of votes from any of the other house guests that are living with her. And it kind of broke her down in the diary room. But that was just a trick of editing, because that breakdown that she was giving was for a completely separate incident inside the house. And what I'm referring to is she has continued to use racial slurs while she's been in the house. And so producers kind of brought her in and were like, hey, there's going to be repercussions. You might want to, stop doing that. And that's when she was told that, people are listening to that. They're upset. They know. And then that's what got the tears rolling. And so they haven't acknowledged this incident on the show. So they just used that breakdown and paired it with her not getting viewer's choice, which might have something to do with her not getting viewer's choice.
Right. That's how I assumed it was, because so you're saying that bit in the DR was from her, because I knew they originally brought her and Angela and I think JC and like told them, like, watch what you're doing in here. So you're saying that's from when they initially told them that, or they've brought her back in since? Because I can't think of when.
No, initially.
What else she's really said.
Initially.
Okay.
But yeah, and then she was upset that, people have the possibility of perceiving her that way.
Right. That's what I assumed she was. Like, I figured she got the crap app and then assumed that's why people voted negatively towards her, and that's why she took it so hard. But it also makes sense that was just footage from when they were telling her to watch her act.
Yeah. I mean, after season 15, this isn't the first time this has happened. So I think Big Brother is like very on top of it now. They've learned their lesson and they know, hey, we need to cool it down. We need this to be a non-blacklisted season.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's always something every season, but it definitely hasn't been near as close to season 15 levels. So I think they've definitely learned their lessons. But I was trying to check on the voting, because I'm still not 100% on how this works out. So it's like a survey, because I haven't voted on it. One, because I wish they wouldn't do these viewer votes, and 2, because they don't even put it on you can't even do it on the website anymore. You have to like download some other app. But so it's a survey with questions that are positive and negative, correct? Have you done it?
I have not done it. I just assumed that it was you have all the pictures of the house guests and you click the house guest that you like the most and the house guest that you like the least.
Oh, so no, that is not how it's happening.
Oh, it's more roundabout than that?
Yeah, you have to like you chat with that BB bot thing on like Twitter or Skype or
not
whatever,
that thing again.
and ask you questions like, who do you think is like playing the best, or who do you like the most, or and then there's like, who do you like the least, who's playing the worst game, or this kind of stuff. So I didn't understand if it was like the least trending person was mentioned in total the least, or they were mentioned the most in the negative things. Because you could be trending and you could be trending for negative things, but still be more trending than someone that wasn't mentioned at all.
But if they ask questions such as who's your favorite, who's your least favorite, I would assume that least favorite would mean that you are least trending.
Because that's kind of what
the word trending is not used correctly in this challenge, I don't think.
I don't know. I don't know how it's used, because when Fessy won the crap app, I just assumed like everybody had everyone had a more clear favorite and least favorite, and he was just kind of like, nobody put him on there at all. But maybe people thought, they put him in the negative question. So, here's the questions right here. Which house guest is most entertaining to watch? Which house guest is annoying you the most? Which house guest gameplay is most fun to watch? Which house guest is the funniest? Which house guest has you screaming at the television? So maybe it is just you just say the same person 5 times, and that's basically you're just voting 5 times.
Yeah, but some of them have negative connotations, like some of the screaming at the TV.
Annoying you the most? Yeah, so I don't know.
Right. So I guess those are in the category of least trending, and then the pro house guest would be the most trending.
Maybe. I don't know. I think this is, just a way for them
to manipulate.
It's easy for them,
so they can
correct.
Just
it's easy for them to manipulate. So, but yeah, I was never clear on that. I was just want to get your opinion on that. But now
I try to not vote for those either, because I just want it to work out in whatever way it works out. I don't want to be able to manipulate.
I wish it was. I guess it is essentially random. Well, I mean, not really, but I don't know. I wish they would just, if they're going to do these powers, if they would just like, hide them somewhere in the house, or you can earn them in a competition instead of going for the veto, you want to go for the cloud, or I don't know.
Well, since you brought it up, Tyler did win most trending, and he picked the cloud, which is a very, very nice little power to have. He can be safe up to 8 weeks, or he can use it for up to 8 weeks, and anytime he wants to be off the block, he can use it.
Okay. See, I had the same thought when it first came on. I was like, oh, this is a cool power. This is like way overpowered. But then I'm like reading what it actually says, and it's actually not that good of a power. He can only use it at the nomination or veto ceremony once, and he has to do it like before they do the nomination. So he has to suspect that he's going to go up, or that or that he'll be a replacement nominee. So it's only saving him from, because if he uses it on a nomination where he thinks he's going up, he could still get backdoored.
Right.
And then, so if he thinks he's going to get backdoored, then he can use it, but he'd have to know about that.
And if he uses it prematurely, then he just looks like a jackass, and then he's going to have a target
Right.
So yeah, he's kind of playing with fire. I didn't realize that it was before. I figured you could use it, you know, as you were on the block.
Yeah, he's got to go like he has to sit like in a different chair or something, the cloud chair, and then he can't be put up because when he first started doing, when he first picked it and started reading it, I thought it was more of like a Paul's pendant of protection from last season.
Yeah, it is similar.
It's similar, but that just activates when they try and put you up. So it's not quite as powerful. Basically, yeah, it just saves him from potentially being backdoored, but he'd have to know about the backdoor.
And as they're going through, each house guest is entering the room, checking to see if they had won any of the power-up apps. And again, Swaggy C does not do himself any favors by getting upset at the viewers because he did not win and expecting that he should win. And honestly, making it even less and less of a possibility of him ever winning because he becomes more and more unlikable with every passing episode.
So he's
on my team, but I'm not rooting for him. That's one house guest that I wouldn't mind seeing leave. He's just cocky and for no reason. He won the first challenge of the season. All right, dude, it's over now. You gotta come up with something else. You are not deserving.
He really shouldn't have even won that competition, but there's other people I'd probably want to see go before him, but I definitely get why people aren't enjoying him.
I appreciate Winston, calling him out for the meeting in the pantry room.
I mean,
and
I don't know what he was.
It's
getting.
Obvious.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, people are gonna, talk about something right after the ceremony.
But my poor boy Winston, he is nominated, but he is up as a pawn. So hopefully we don't see the last of him because he's still one of my favorites.
Really?
I think he's a good middle of the road player right now, and I think give him some more time and he's gonna shine.
He's gonna shine. Maybe him and Brett. Romance.
Not Brett the douche.
What? You have to have both.
There for eye candy.
They are a pair.
Don't say that. Don't ruin Winston for me.
It's true. Did you see their outfits on Thursday? They were like wearing they're like matching with those awful,
yeah,
like,
I did.
shirts. They were open, and oh my gosh, I was cracking up though.
But so right now, as it currently stands, the show has shown that Scotty and Winston are the two nominees. Obviously, the live feeds are going on, and the veto has happened.
Correct.
So, without spoiling who won the veto, who do you feel will go home? Do you think Scotty? Do you think Winston? Or do you just think it'll be someone else?
I definitely think someone else is going home.
Okay.
And so tonight's episode, when we're recording this on Wednesday, so tonight's episode presumably will be the veto competition and then the veto ceremony, which I know before the show we were talking about the schedule this season, how it's definitely different from the past seasons. But now I feel like on Thursday, what's going to happen is they're going to have a bunch of flashbacks, which they even did this past week. Sometimes trying to like fill in the blanks on like why Caitlyn would be flipping.
Right. All about the edit.
Yeah, so I'm assuming hopefully they don't spend too much time on the competition today, to be honest, because there's more interesting things going on.
Right. So are there any, there's plenty of house guests that haven't gotten a lot of screen time yet. Are there any that you expect in the near future are going to start, making waves and start getting a little more screen time once they start playing a little harder? Anyone that you hope?
Anyone that I
do
hope.
That?
I mean, I hope we see a little more of Rachel, to be honest. She hasn't been on the edit that much, except for last week when she got the crap app. But I suspect Rockstar to probably get a little bit more screen time.
That's who I was thinking.
I think she's gonna start getting in there a little bit more, and might have a little more Bailey also. And I think Angela will continue to basically not exist.
Yeah, that poor girl. I mean, you forget about her.
I know. I forget she's on my team. I forget that she's there.
I mean, you don't even see her like walk by. Like, I don't know where she hides.
Which
she doesn't have any time at all.
I mean, I guess this could be good for her to just sort of lay low, but
a little too low.
Haley, I think she'll get a little more screen time.
The closer she gets to Fessy, the more I think she'll get, because Fessy seems to be one of the more aggressive house guests, game wise. So I think if they do connect, they'll start playing each other's game together, and so therefore you'll see her more. Same with Bailey. I think Swaggy C, if he keeps getting himself into drama, Bailey's going to come to the rescue, and they'll be a pair, and they'll be on screen as well.
Yeah, I think this coming week, next couple of weeks, definitely see a lot of Caitlyn, a lot of Tyler, probably a lot of Bailey, and yeah, I'm sure they're gonna continue editing in a lot of Tyler as much as possible. I think he's definitely there.
Tyler has surprised me.
Him an early mastermind edit right now.
They're just rising him up for an inevitable fall at some point.
Probably.
But I think that might be a little later than sooner.
Yeah, it'll probably be later. He'll be on, I think, for a while.
Do you think he will have to use his power?
I don't know. That would be a tough choice to have to make, because like you said, I mean, obviously you have to go sit on this other chair and probably announce what you're doing, and if you're not really in any danger, that's kind of not a good move, depending on who's in power. So you don't want to do it at the wrong time, but also if you do it during a nomination ceremony, you run the risk of still being put up as a replacement nominee. So you might think, oh, well, I'll save it. But how do you know, if that's going to be the case? So I don't know. I think he'll probably hold on to it for as long as he as possibly can. He won't use it until he thinks it's a sure thing that someone's going to try and backdoor him or something.
Yeah, that power up is a page straight out of the Survivor book. That's the immunity idol with a Big Brother skin on it.
Yep, hidden immunity idol.
But unlike Tyler's Sam's can be used on someone other than herself. Do you think she will have to use it either on herself or on someone else, or not at all?
Well, that's the thing. She, if she has to use it, she will, either on herself or on an ally like Tyler or something. But the thing is that she knows that if she doesn't, that whoever is evicted fourth gets that chance automatically. So on the live feed, this is not really a spoiler. She's because she did tell Tyler about the power.
She's told plenty of
plenty of people know.
Actually, and she shouldn't.
Like, I think it's the majority knows at this point. But they don't. She doesn't, I think, necessarily know that they know. But anyway, she was talking about it, and she has a little bit misunderstanding of how it works. But
do you think she has a misunderstanding, or do you think she's playing it up so that she's more valuable in the eyes of other people?
I think she has an honest misunderstanding, because she, I don't know, when she was trying to tell Tyler that the fourth person automatically gets the chance, I think she was saying something like that he took it as the fourth person evicted would, if it hadn't been used, would be safe. And then the person that, it basically a vote flip, like the person that got the votes to stay would end up leaving or something. But I think they tried to figure it out a little bit more. And I know Tyler was wanting to potentially use it to their advantage. If they didn't need to use it by the fourth eviction, then they could, they could potentially save somebody on their side who was going out anyway. Just give them a second chance.
Yeah, because it's already in the schedule. Like, we know that there will be a week will be essentially revoked and reset, and then that's planned out. So we know that it will be used, and someone will eventually be returning.
Yeah,
within the next
these first 4 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah. So, hell, maybe your boy Steve can come back if he decides to win something.
Oh no, he's gone. So that's the thing, is they're using this in place of a pre-jury return. So whoever gets evicted, it sounds like, is just playing some kind of competition by themselves. Or something I thought possibly might happen is they come back in and they play in that HOH right after the eviction, and if they get to a certain point, then they can come back in or something. They're not going to be facing other people. Like, Steve's gone. He's I think he's already on Twitter, and he's not in sequester anymore. So I think whoever comes out is on that fourth week or uses the power will just have to do something by themselves, and then they'll probably have a regular jury battle back.
Gotcha. Yeah, that does make
Which
sense.
Which is unfortunate.
I did hear that.
Poor Steve, but
yeah, gone too soon. I guess he never did reveal to the house that he was an undercover cop, but he kind of did, because he mentioned so many cop references and facts about police academy and the law, that I'm actually surprised that no one was like, "Are you a cop? Were you ever a cop?"
Yeah, and the fact that he was practically wearing a Derek disguise. He was like an undercover cop, an undercover cop. I mean, he had the beanie on and the hoodies, and he's trying to dress down. It's like, what are you doing, Steve? This.
Hey, if it worked before.
I know, but it's just I'm pretty sure when he was doing that, interviews, he was like, God, Derek came in here before I want to do what he did. And then he comes in and does exactly what he does, but it doesn't, it works a lot better for Derek than it does for Steve.
Oh, yeah. Derek didn't even get nominated once. Steve gets nominated first week and then the boot.
The poor guy, though, he didn't have any clue.
No, he didn't. And honestly, the poor house, I don't know. It seemed like Sam of the two would have been more dangerous. But, yeah.
Hey,
to each their own.
Steve is it's like what I was saying when we had talking about the premiere night, when everyone kept putting the balls in his thing and to knock him out. It's like, why you gotta get Steve out? He's not hurting anybody.
Right. He would have eliminated himself at some point. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. But I guess they were trying to...
They don't want to,
wait out the time that they had to attack someone else. Because once you put a ball on someone else, then you and this person are going to go at it. So just avoid that at all costs. Wait out the clock.
Yeah, like nobody's really hurting that Steve's gone except Scotty. And, he's already going to try to start getting in other people's good graces. So he'll be fine. But yeah, I guess that was probably it. Just the least amount of blood would have been Steve or Sam that week.
So tonight is a new episode. So for this next week, what are some things that you are, I don't want to say expecting, because we all know to never expect or we are told to expect the unexpected. But what do you foresee happening within this next week? Do you think anything? You think any of the powers will be used? You think some of the crap apps are going to hinder anything? I just want to know what you're thinking.
Well, I don't think any powers are going to be in play this week. And that's something that I do like about the crap apps, is that they don't really affect gameplay.
Yeah, they're personal punishments.
I suspect that Thursday's episode is going to be a good one.
I think so too. I think it'll definitely change the house up, because I don't think any of the two nominations that are currently sitting there will be going home.
No.
I agree.
What do you think? Any hints or any ideas about what the kind of next HOH comp will be? Do you think it's going to be an endurance?
That's what I was thinking, because we haven't really seen an endurance competition, really, besides from that final leg of the first episode. So I'm thinking there's going to be something that they have to hang on to. And yeah, because we've gotten a nice variation of comps this season. Actually, all of them have seemed pretty fun to me, to the point where I've been like, I wouldn't mind playing that. The endurance competitions are usually the ones that I say there's no way in hell. I don't think I could, hold on to something for 10 hours straight. That just doesn't seem like a possibility for me. But the strategic games that they've seemed to be using this season, I thoroughly enjoy, because there's an added sense of like awareness that, am I going to sabotage this person in this contest, or am I going to, play it nice? There's a lot more freedom and gameplay within the challenge itself, if you understand what I'm getting at.
Yeah, like the one with the balls in the little tubes.
Yes. I think a lot of them have given the house guests more options to kind of get the drama ball rolling quicker.
Yeah, I suspect Thursday will be some kind of endurance, maybe I don't know. I feel like it's too early for a wall, but maybe something else. If it's the wall, they just need to give up and give it to JC. But
yeah,
I want them to do the
center of gravity
pressure cooker one like they did on what was that, season 6, season 7?
Remind me of that one.
This is the one when they were they had to get locked in that. They were out in the backyard and they're locked in that glass box or whatever, and then they had to have their They had to have their thumb on a button.
Oh, I do remember that now.
You could leave at any time, like go to the bathroom, and then they were in there. I think Kaser and one of the women. They were like in the last 2 or 3 in there.
Probably, most likely Janelle.
I would like something like that. I like the ones where they have to like just keep their foot or hand or something like in a spot for however long.
I believe it was that same season that they had they were all in like a web and they were all tied up in the web and they had to entangle themselves as quickly as possible.
I remember that, yeah.
I liked that one. I think they should bring that one back. But, our standards of, OTEV and then the spelling comps, we will definitely see those again. We'll see the ones where they have to race across the slippery stage and fill up something with a liquid and grab the ball. Those standard comps we have yet to see yet. And we know that they'll come back with some sort of tech skin on them.
Tech, quote unquote, tech.
Yes. Internet, the future. I know it's 2018 and we're still on this internet craze. It's like maybe the new millennium it would have made sense, but now I think we're all pretty much standard at this point.
Yeah, it's like present tech or like slightly behind tech rather than like future tech. It's like
it's just awful puns is what basically. It is. It's just awful puns. But like surfing the web, like Jesus Christ, like as soon as I saw those surfboards, I knew exactly what was happening. But I'm definitely, this is only week 2, but I'm definitely enjoying this season. Season 19's got nothing on 20. And I think if it keeps it up, this could be one of my favorite seasons.
It's really good so far. I'm hoping it stays good. Yeah, definitely don't want another 19. But I think it's, no matter what, it's already better than that. So
less Paul screen time, the
exactly.
better.
I mean, just by having no returning players, I mean, this is basically the closest thing to a throwback season that we're ever going to get, probably.
Yeah, and I'm starting to deal with the fact that we will most likely never get an all-star season again. No. For whatever reason, it seems like a very smart move. Honestly, I think the smartest move for CBS would be to do a all-star season, but do it in place of OTT. Do it online exclusive. That is what's really going to get the die-hard BB fans over to that app.
That's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought about that.
I think that's the way to do it. But, they just don't seem to want to acknowledge, unless it's Paul, they really don't want to acknowledge previous seasons, especially 7 and below. I don't feel that we don't talk about those anymore because the game has progressed so much from just like a gameplay standpoint that, I mean, up until season 3, there wasn't even a veto. So 1 and 2 aren't even the same game. And even, 3 to 7, the game was somewhat different. There with every season, there's more and more added to the game that makes it more and more elusive and harder to win, in my opinion.
So you think new, not to get into some sort of debate, but so you think newer seasons are like gameplay is more
difficult
because of inherently, or
because
just
with
they
every
just have all these
season,
wacky twists that you can't even predict, and it's just expect the unexpected. Well,
no, I think that the twists keep it interesting, but what I'm getting at is, so let's say, okay, we mentioned Steve and Derek. So Derek won by using this strategy. Well, Steve went in using that same exact strategy, and it didn't work because people are aware of it. That strategy can't be used again because people are aware that it's happened, it's worked, and people aren't going to let it happen again. So now you have to go and find a new roundabout way of winning this show. So you have to not only learn from previous mistakes and opportunities, but then you have to make them different to the point where people aren't going to notice and put a stop to it prematurely.
Right, I see what you're saying. Like there's an evolution to the strategy every season. Right.
And I think that's what keeps this show watchable, is that, you keep coming back because the show is always different. If it was, something where it didn't evolutionize and evolve with every passing season, what would be the point? You're just going to get the same thing over and over again. So I do appreciate that. And I think it's definitely organic. I mean, I don't think it's the producers doing that. That's just the contestants being more and more aware of the history of the show that they are participating in.
Yeah, I mean, it helps when they, whether they mean to or not, but when they cast people that are filling a particular character type and then don't really play to that character type, like how I feel Tyler is doing right now, and or maybe don't play to expectation. Like Scotty, right. I mean, it's still early, but it's not like he's going to be playing like an Ian Terry game, or even like Steve from 17. Like, I don't think he has even that kind of, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's missed his opportunity already.
Right, and people probably expect more from, because he's playing that archetype. But
right, and Ian and Steve both won. So, there's that same archetype that is now being a target, as we can see during this week. He's sitting in the chairs. So, you do have to change up, your performance for every season, because, hell, no one is going to go into this season playing the way Josh Martinez from last season did, because that's fresh in everyone's mind. Everyone understands. No one's going to go in there and start banging pots and pans and singing the circus theme song. So, you have to let each player play differently than before.
So you think that a all access exclusive all-star season, which, hey, right there, all access, all stars, you think
there's so much that they can play with there? Think of the advertising.
I don't know. Do you think they would want to foot the bill for that?
I think they'd make it back. I mean, honestly, for me, the over-the-top season was very lackluster. You and I talked about that. It was the budget was clearly not there as it would have been for a on-air season. And I think if they really want to move over the big diehard Big Brother fans. Bring back the people that they like, but then you force your fans to pay to watch the show that they want to watch.
It's true.
And I think that's the way to do it. Because, I mean, just think if your favorite house guest came back, you're not going to not watch that. You're going to go and you're going to watch and you're going to cheer them on. You're going to see what happens. And I think the fact that they haven't done an all-star season for 13 seasons, there's plenty of house guests that they can use to fill. I mean, plenty of them aren't busy doing anything, and a lot of them are definitely more than willing to come back. So I don't think, convincing players to come back would be a problem.
Yeah, I feel like it'd probably be mostly from the last, probably season 16 and on would be what the All-Stars would probably be. Maybe a couple from before, skip over 15 and then do, someone from 14 or so. But
so, hey, CBS, if you're listening, take notes. I think that could be a real moneymaker for you. You can send us a check. I'd appreciate it. But that being said, we'll have to wait on that and wait on tonight's episode to see what happens next.
It's going to be a good one, I promise you.
I'll hold you to it. All right. Thank you again, everybody, for watching.